Hi everybody, this is Danny Kim from Canada Archery Online, and today we're going to be reviewing or comparing two bags that are actually sub $100 on the CAO website right now. These bags, just as an upfront offer, they do offer a little bit more than our sub $70 bags that we reviewed last time. But at the same time, these ones aren't exactly designed to break the bank, but give you a lot more options. So without further ado, let's just dive into what these bags actually have to offer. The first bag that we're actually going to be looking at is the Legend Streamline 2. And gotta say, the hot pink really does bring out the color of my eyes, which is fantastic. This is probably the most common bag that I actually see out there. This is a lot of people are actually used to seeing the black and orange subversions that I see out there. And I believe, at least when I started, this was really the only thing around the price range that offered the features and the quality that it did. There are some competitions now, but that doesn't mean this is anything like a pushover still to this date. A couple of big things that we still want to cover is the fact that they still don't come with any of the waist little holders thingamajiggy over there. So if you actually have a lot of stuff, this might not be the bag for you. And in recurve, we tend to go in that range. It actually has two pockets, one major one for all your fun stuff like your riser, your limbs, your quiver. Your arrow tube is still inside the bag, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And then we actually have a secondary pocket where I'm just gonna unzip that just all the way. There we go. Where you get to keep your side stuff like your extra finger taps, your extra toolkit, all that fun stuff can go in here. Your scoreboard, your scorecards, and just whatnot. So that additional pocket right here is just gonna be such a lifesaver, really. I like to utilize different pockets like these all the time, not necessarily the small ones. Again, if you watch my previous video, you'll know what kind of beef I had with them, where I just basically don't use them at all. But again, that's up to you. If you're the person that do use them, and if they work for you, fine. This is all about preference. There's, again, no right or wrong here. The next bag that we're actually going to be checking out is the Avalon Archery Classic. This is a bit of a new player into the market right here. Couple of fun things that you got to mention. This one kind of breaks the paradigm a little bit. It kind of shifts it a little bit to the side in a sense that it just doesn't have the, holy Moses, there we go. It just doesn't have just a one giant pocket that opens up like all the other traditional backpacks do. But at the same time, it actually has a little flap on here where you can actually grab your stuff from within. I do actually like this. I'm just gonna flat out say that this is actually a bag design that I am actually used to. Again, it's the same thing with the arrow tube. It is inside the bag, so you are limited in some sort of space in here. When you want to actually carry it, the backpack strap does come out like so, and you'll just have to attach it together here with it, which is not a big deal. And this is probably the way that it's gonna stay for the most of the time. It doesn't tend to actually have a waist strap just like the other bag does, but it does have a little bit of a chest guard going in right in here. One thing that I do like is that it does actually have a holder, so you can hold it a briefcase style for a limited time, assuming you actually have stuff in here, because then it will just be too heavy for one hand to carry. But it just kind of gives you that opportunity to just kind of lift it without using the actual backpack strap on a difficult angle. This is just a good thought that's actually put into these bags, and this is actually a really good idea. And again, we're presented with, will it fit all my stuff? Legend actually provides a slightly higher quality than the Artemis that does with the riser and the limb sleeve. What I can actually start doing in this case, and this is just, again, my preference if you want to do it this way or not. I should really be doing this with the riser case, but I feel brave enough just for this review that I can actually just flat out do this. And this is actually the way that I had it when I had my first backpack. It's just the way that it's been run. Oh boy. Note of advice, don't put a lot of stuff on your quiver, or just get a larger quiver. This is not recommended to do. This is just for the sake of the review. And again, if you want to use this, feel free to go ahead. It is going to fit. I just like to do it the way I do it, because really when it comes to bags, it's more of a customizable thing. It's not really about using the bag that the bag designs you to use. It's really about how you want to use it, about how you want to fit it. There's really no right or wrong. There's a large chunk of space in here for a reason. If you want to add compartmentalization, if you want to add Velcros, if you really want to go that far, you're feel free to do it. There's really nothing against it. And again, all the extra stuff, which I'm not even gonna bother you with, extra toolkits, T-squares, all that fun stuff can go in right in here. In my case, half that stuff's already in my quiver already. I just like to have things in hand. And again, it comes with a little bit of a key ring right in here. That's actually interesting. I'm not even sure if I'll ever use that. But that's all it just comes down to. And for a typical recurve setup, it'll actually fit. Yeah, that's it. Nope, there's actually more. Actually, I think that is actually it. Yep, and again, it does also have a little bit of a briefcase style. It's not as robust, and again, I'm not entirely confident on how long this will stay on, depending on how heavy your gear is. It also has a little bit of a strap right here, so when it's actually standing, up against my legs in a subway train or anything like that, I usually use this to prop it up. That's how I would do it on my bag. It's up to you if you really want to use this. I typically don't. They end up typically breaking on mine. But yeah, other ways to actually lift it, that's actually very important when it comes to a heavy backpack, because you don't want to be stressing these guys out all the time or just putting yourself in an awkward angle to just kind of, get yourself hurt half the time either. Legend logo is just very discreet with this bag, unlike some of their other backpacks that I've seen or rollers that I've seen. So this is actually a pretty good taste on their part. Again, if hot pink's not your thing, it does come in other colors. Next, we're going to be checking out the Avalon Archery Classic to see if it can fit all my stuff, or just your main core up stuff. And let's just take it underway. A couple of things that I like to actually mention before going into this one. One little couple actually that actually bothers me, despite the fact that I do like the design of this bag overall, is that this is the way that I'm going to have it most of the time, and I will need to undo it almost every time. Small things, not a deal breaker, but it will bother me. And whether it bothers you or not, that's entirely up to you. A couple of good things though, and again, this is entirely up to you if you're going to be using this feature and understand that you are going to be paying for it. So if you're going to be paying for this feature and if you're not going to be using it, you really have to question the value that this bag offers you personally. It does have a flap up here so that you can access this, all of this, and let me just not use the Velcro so it comes out smoothly, which is the way that I would set it if this is the way that you're going to be using it. So if you're going to be using it like so, fantastic. The issue comes down to how you're going to grab your quiver, and depending on the type of quiver you have, if it's a field quiver, it might actually just work, but if it's going to be a larger quiver, like a target quiver, it just might not. I will try to test it to see if it works with my field quiver, to see if you can just utilize this pocket entirely, because then that'll add a lot of value for me. Otherwise, it'll just be not a great execution on the actual bag making, but the design of the thought, it's there. And it's a bag that tries. For the price that's so low, it tries to be different, and it tries to give you additional options. So with that, it does actually get a few extra points. Couple things to note that three zipper lineup for the Avalon lies the riser and the limb case, which means you can store additional limbs, or you can just be pretty and just put them in all in separates. Or just one big pocket would have been enough, but hey, this is fancier. Let's go with it. And yes, that is always going to be a struggle, regardless of which bag you own, or at least at this price range anyway. my quiver with my everything else, including my side rods, my T-square, all my shooting stuff like finger taps and arm guards all in here. Oh boy. And my side case. Woo. Oh boy. You know what? Let's try to be a little different. Yeah, let's actually use these extra pockets they come with. Why the heck not? Couple things to note, but Gore's gonna kill me with that now. Couple things to note is that your zipper might actually get caught on just a little curve right here with this thing. Yep. But you know what? It doesn't seem like a huge deal to me right now, and I really won't be able to test that unless I use it for a long period of time. If that does become an issue, I am so sorry. And it tries to be a little bit, tries to defend the bag from rain a little bit, but we'll see how that one goes. And again, my stabilizer, just in there. Now I'm actually just going to be shifting the bag to this point right here and see how well this plan actually works. And if I'm trying to use my logic, this is already proving to be difficult. I would need to get my bow stand first, because that's where I'm going to put my riser down on. And having said that, this should also be the last thing that I should be putting in my bag. And then I'm just going to be taking my riser case out. And will it get my quiver out in one piece? Oh God, it kind of struggles. Yes, barely. This is good. This would not have been such a big issue if Avalon actually just made a zipper going all the way around. Kind of like the Tech 1 bag that's not really widely sold in North America. I'm gonna say that I do actually have a beef with this, but it's a bag that tries. If this somehow works for you, like it barely worked for me, and I'm pretty sure with the longer use, I can make it work better. That's entirely up to you. If you want to go the traditional route, it also gives you that option. So it's a bag that gives you options for the price that you're paying that's under 100 bucks Canadian. We can't really complain about that. I'm not really trying to defend the bag. I may actually just, if I were to own this bag, you know what, I might just not use this part at all and just go the traditional route. If Avalon decides in the future that, hey, let's make a zipper all the way around, then that option becomes wholly just viable there, and I think it'll just be a good choice for that then. Okay, in conclusion, both of these bags offer what they need to do for the price. Avalon offers a little bit more options in terms of how to put in and take out your gear. Whether it works for you or not, that's really up to you to decide. Streamline 2 has just been proven over time, at least to me on a personal level too, with a lot of my friends actually using the Streamline 2 or had used the Streamline 2 in the past, that is just a solid bag for the price that you get in. And for under 100 bucks, we really can't complain. It does so much more than the under the $70 ones will do, but at the same time, it leaves you wanting a little bit more compared to the $200, $250 bags out there. But some saving grace about these bags is that their bag material is actually a lighter, despite the fact that it gives you a little bit less padding than some of the other heavier bags out there. So if you're going to be traveling a lot, this might be a good thing to do. I know a lot of recurve archers have their bags and then they have like a small toolkit box on the side. That's, again, if that's your style, that's up to you. Having said that, both of these bags will offer what they need to do for the price. I like both of these bags a little bit more. I'm gonna say I am a little bit more biased towards the Avalon in this case, partially because I own an Avalon bag before. And this one tries to do what it does, not at the price that I paid for, which at that time was ridiculous because there was no supplier for it. Having said that, this is only meant to be just a touch-based review, not just a quick review on will it fit your gear, what's the inside, what are the main features, what's the main difference, will it work, will it not work. It's not something that's like an in-depth review, but again, if you have any questions or comments or concerns, just put them on the comments below on our YouTube page, and whether you agree or disagree, that's entirely up to you too. Just put everything on there, okay? And that's pretty much it, and stay classy, San Diego.